Welcome back to another video, guys. Today I will show you the exact step-by-step inbound process that we're using at Multiscalex to book hundreds and hundreds of qualified sales calls every single month for ourselves and our clients. And in the background, you can already see the results that we're generating both for our clients and ourselves. For our clients, we're seeing results like scaling a client from 11,300 impressions in 345 days. They've only seen 11K impressions in almost a year, to seeing and generating 630,000 impressions in only 55 days. You can see it right here, and 92 qualified appointments booked in just 30 days, and then eventually generating hundreds of thousands of dollars from that. And then also our results, you can see the transition over a couple of months from going from almost no calls at all to maybe sometimes having one sales calls a day to being booked out for 2 months in advance with 5 to 7 sales calls every single day. Those are clients with high buying intent that are ready to invest and that want what we're selling, but not only the technical setup, but they are looking for help with the execution of it, meaning the buying intent is much higher and they are ready to start working together if we think that they're a fit. But now already kind of seeing what we're capable of doing with this entire process that I'll show you in just a second. But here again, last month alone, with my account, with the Noah Tuster personal brand on LinkedIn, I've generated 1 million impressions, 8,500 comments, in other words, 8,500 inbound leads, 200 to 250 approximately qualified calls booked, sales calls with people that are ready to invest, 60 plus inbound calls booked in a single day. We've generated millions in pipeline value and closed 6 figures in deals, 100% inbound. Now, what you don't need for this system, the biggest misconceptions in the entire LinkedIn inbound game, is first of all, you don't need a huge following. My first viral post that got me 1,000 to 3,000 inbound leads, I only had 950 followers or something like that. Then, second of all, post 7 times per week. One of my biggest lead magnet posts, which got me 6,000 inbound leads approximately, or 5,500, we're going to talk about that in just a second. I posted 2 times. I posted 2 posts within that 1 week where that one post gone viral. As long as your posts are high quality, it's better to post 2 high quality posts that are relevant, that are then guaranteed are going to go viral, instead of posting 7 times per week, but then having only 1 high quality post and 6 not so good posts that are just for the sake of posting and not really for sharing value. Next up, post for 6 months on LinkedIn to get your first results with LinkedIn inbound. Biggest bullshit. It's not true. You don't need to post for 6 months. Your very first post can go viral if it's high quality and if it's relevant. Of course, the further you go ahead, the more consistent you are with posting, the algorithm will see you in another way, or it will play you out to more people. But generally speaking, it is not about how long you've been posting, because I've been posting for months already. Like, I've started my LinkedIn account 2 years ago. For the first year, I didn't see any results, even though I was posting like 3 to 4 times a week, consistently every single day, engaging with others, but I still didn't see results. Once I've changed that and started posting lead magnet posts or stuff that is relevant, I all of a sudden gone viral, because it is about relevance, not how consistent you are with it. Of course, consistency always is key, but it also has to be high quality, not only just for the sake of posting stuff. And then next up, engage for 2 hours a day. Also, biggest slide that I've ever seen on LinkedIn, with one of my biggest weeks so far in terms of the leads that I got inbound and the calls I booked. I maybe in the entire month, like last month alone, I've already shown you the results I've generated in that month, and I maybe engaged with 5 posts, 5 creators in that entire month. So don't engage for the sake of engagement. If you want to support someone, please go ahead and do it, because that is great. That is something that really helps them grow their account. But in terms of you engaging just to grow your account, that is just really time wasted. Spend those 2 hours a day to really figure out, okay, what are the problems that your RCP is facing, and then create a solution for that, and then share that online for free. That is how you grow your account, not by engaging for 2 hours a day. Anyways, let's get into the 7-step process. Number 1, build the unbreakable foundation. Right here, for this unbreakable foundation, we have 5 key foundation elements. There are 5 questions, and you have to be able to answer every single one of these in as much detail as possible. And I'm going to show you in just a second how to utilize those for creating good content But first of all, what exactly are you selling? The service that you're offering, how do you help those? Then who exactly are you selling to, your ICP, your target audience? What problems are your ideal clients facing? How does your offer solve those problems, and why should they listen to you? Those are 5 questions. If you cannot answer them in as much detail as possible, you have a lot of work to do. Because if you don't have that foundation correct, it's literally like building a skyscraper on sand. It's going to collapse the second there is an unexpected turbulence coming up. Same thing here. Now, how do we utilize those? So as you can see, I marked in that post, I marked all the parts based on how they answer these questions. So first of all, why should they listen to you? The proof, and we're also going to go through that structure in just a second again in step 3. But first of all, why should they listen to you? I marked that because that is a bold hook that hooks them into your content, that shows them that you're the right person to talk to about this specific topic. This is super important. If you don't have proof, people are not going to listen to you, because anyone can claim something, but it's about proving that it actually works. Then second of all, who are you selling it to? B2B companies. What problems are they facing? All of that, they're struggling with that. Then what exactly are you selling? I've built and documented an AI-powered system that changes the game. It's not very specific, but it still does the job. Then how does your offer solve those problems? I'm going more into more specific with that. And then the proof, why it works. Again, why should they listen to you? And then you just end with a call to action. That generally speaking, how those 5 questions are helping you to create that entire inbound machine in a way that resonates with your target audience. Number 2 is create a lead magnet resource itself, and you have multiple different options to do so. So you have 4 different options. Number 1, Notion guides. It's personally my favorite one because it's very scalable, because you only have to create it once and you can send it out to thousands of people. You can do it with all of that, but it's also the fastest to create. Like, it is the easiest to create for yourself, to put all of your information, all the knowledge into a Notion guide. But then it's also very practical for other people, because some people sometimes just don't have the time to go through an entire video and search for that specific key moment that they need because they don't know how to do it or something like that. So Notion guide, very practical, very scalable. Second thing, what I'm doing right now is showing you a Miro board. You can share a Miro board via link, whatever. Second thing, third thing, and fourth is YouTube and Loom. For example, what I'm doing right now, this video that you're seeing right here, I will probably upload it on YouTube, and then I'm going to send over that YouTube link so you can see it on YouTube, how I run through the entire Miro board with Loom. Now, those are 4 different steps that you can do. I personally use a strategy. It's called resource arbitrage. It's basically that you record a video about a specific topic, for example, the one that I'm recording right now, and then you take the transcript. We, for example, have a custom AI agent for that helps us with creating Notion guides. And then you put that YouTube transcript into the Notion guide, and now you can, again, utilize it for that. So you just created 2 resources out of 1. And that's what the resource arbitrage is really about, because you're then maximizing your outcome with the minimum effort possible. Now, it comes to what do you actually share within this resource, the content inside the resource. You can share step-by-step system breakdown. For example, what I'm doing right now, I'm giving you a step-by-step practical breakdown of what it is that we're working on, or how do we structure that inbound process so you can do it yourself. Technical frameworks, real example and screenshots just for proof that it actually works. For example, what I just showed you before, the screenshot of the impressions of our clients, and then also our calendar that has gone from empty to fully booked. And then also clear call to actions to book a call with you at the end. That is super crucial. And you saw it in that Notion guide. And probably if you come from LinkedIn, if I send you this video on LinkedIn, you've probably already received one of my other lead magnets, one of my other Notion guides. And you can see right here in the very beginning and at the very end, I have a call to action where I say, want this built for you, book a call with Noah or the team. This is super crucial to also have it at the beginning, not only at the end, because the thing about it is that some people just want to see that what you're sharing is actually valuable, but they don't read through it, meaning having the call to action at the very end might cost you a couple of clients. So have it at the very beginning and at the very end to maximize your conversion rate in regards to that. And then also really important, give away the real source. Don't hold back any information. Don't gatekeep, because this ultimately shifts The buying intent from I want this technical setup to eventually I want you to execute on it. I want your specific expertise. So now when people come and book a sales call with us or my team, they are coming on the call. They already know what we're building. They just want us to execute on it because we have the expertise backing it up and we have proven it to work. That's what they're looking for. That's why they book the appointment with us, and that's why they start working with us, because they want us to execute on it. And that is a lot better than someone getting on a call just wanting to have the technical system, because then you are comparable. You are replaceable by other agencies. In our case, it is our system. We've developed it like this. We've developed this strategy. So we are the only ones that have this expertise. So if someone comes and compares us to another agency, I'm just saying like, cool, but they don't have the system we have. And that's the good thing about this buying intent that you have with your clients that book an appointment through inbound systems. That is step 2. Now, step 3, create the lead magnet post itself, aka the engine of the entire thing. The thing that gets you all the traction to eventually convert those clients. Now, first of all, how to structure your post. And this is already what we talked about. Start with a big hook. And here we can, again, zoom out and go to this post example down here. Big hook, why should they listen to you? I booked 43 calls in 6 days using whatever frustrations they're facing. Again, your new solution, proof, simple call to action. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Make sure that they have an easy way to, first of all, really understand, okay, this is what I'm getting within the lead magnet, and then eventually what is the next step to receive it. Then formatting tips, how to format it in a way that is visually appealing and intriguing to eventually also take action. Use check marks or simple bullet points for clarity. That is, for example, use check marks or simple bullet points. Is this right here? You have those green checks, you have those bullet points right there. Make it visually more structured. Minimal emojis, no fluff. The only emojis that I have right here are those check marks, and then also that 1-2 thing right here. Don't overdo it with emojis. And then clean line spacing, easy to skim read. This is very straightforward. It's short sentences, always have those little paragraphs and those little empty spaces in between to make sure that it's structured in a very appealing way. And now to write those posts on bulk without having too much effort yourself and without having to start from scratch every single time, use phantomwriter.io. The link is in the description down below. It is an AI that you can train based on your voice, based on your offering, and which is also backed up with thousands of viral posts that have gone viral, that generated millions of dollars in revenue and stuff like that. Is going to help you, first of all, come up with ideas, write the content itself, have a content calendar, and just structure it in a way that, first of all, sounds exactly like you. It doesn't sound like AI, it doesn't sound like ChatGPT. It is a high value or high quality system that helps you really generate those posts in a way that is proven to work, that has all the formatting that we've already talked about in there to eventually see the best results with it. And here you can see it again. Quickly generate drafts based on your foundation. So what we've already talked, the 5 questions that we've already answered about, okay, who are you selling to, what it is that you're selling, etc., etc., and then edit them to match your natural speaking style to make sure that it doesn't sound like AI, and you can all do that within Phantom Writer. So use the link in the description down below to sign up with Phantom Writer, and you also have a free trial in there so you can try it out. So that's my go-to tool when it comes to the copywriting for my posts. I'm using it myself for every single post that I'm writing, and very clearly it works extremely well. Now, the 4th step is automate the lead capturing itself. So use the following strategies. First of all, use leadshark.io to scrape comments and automate first DMs. Leadshark.io, best automation tool for that specific area for lead magnets that I've ever seen out there. Also, brand partner of that. I'm going to show you my promo code in just a second. But in here, you can automate it. So first of all, really important to note here, it is about strategies that automate the lead capturing without getting banned, because there are hundreds of tools out there that do that for you, but the likelihood of most of them to get banned is very high. With LeadShark, they're using private proxies, plus also they're not using your login data, but your LinkedIn cookies. So they're using your cookie data to log in and eventually automate all of that stuff, which is super secure. Plus also, and we're also going to talk that in just a second, they're basically representing, or they're copying human interactions. So it seems like I'm doing it myself, but it's automated. But basically how to do it is you go into lead chart, you sign up. They again have a free trial of like, I think it's 7 or 14 days, something like that. And eventually you're going to connect it to your LinkedIn account. You can scroll through all of your posts that you've posted in the past, and then you can just click on automate post. You're going to outline exactly, okay, what is the exact keyword that they have to comment on your post? For example, ICP or info or document or whatever, stuff like that, just words that they have to post to ultimately for lead chart to scrape those comments, capture those comments, and eventually automate the first DMs. First DMs is in that case sending out the resource with link, with your Calendly link, whatever. That could be structured in a way. For example, if you're seeing this video, the likelihood is very high that you came in through LinkedIn and you've probably seen it. So it's basically, hey, first name, appreciate you commenting keyword on this post. Here's the resource I promised. Then you're going to paste in the link, whether it's YouTube or Loom or Miro or Notion, whatever. And then eventually you again have a call to action, whether it's a quick question to start the conversation. That could be something like, I don't know, quick question. Are you already using AI automation to automate and optimize your client acquisition, or are you just exploring to start a conversation to eventually go into the appointment setting process? Or you're saying, quick one, is it okay if I send over a quick voice note explaining exactly how we can do it for you? Just drop a quick thumbs up and I'm going to send it over. Or the third one would theoretically be that you directly have your calendar link in there and you're just saying, if this looks relevant, we also have done for you services. If you want to build it, if you don't want to build it yourself, but you want us to build it for you, then you can just book a call here. Stuff like that. The third one is my personal favorite because I don't have time to respond to hundreds of DMs because there are still hundreds of unread DMs in my inbox. So now also having a call to action that forces me to go through all of them is quite manual, and I don't like that, and it's just not scalable. But here again, if you have the call to action of having that thumbs up for a quick voice note pitch or something like that, then just send out a personalized short video or voice note, because that on average performs and converts 5 times better, because then people already have that human touch. They know that it's first of all you that's who is sending that voice note and not some appointment setter or some AI. I mean, nowadays it's also you're also able to automate voice notes with AI, but generally speaking, like, it's just about the human touch with it, and that is the reason why it converts 5 times better on average. Now, when it comes again to Lead.io, feel free to use code MultiscaleX for 25% off your first 3 months on LeadShark.io. It doesn't matter which package you choose. This, for example, is the Pro Plus. This is the middle package, but there's also Pro and then Enterprise or something like that. So there are 3 packages in total. And as you can see, it's almost like you are getting 1 month entirely for free, almost. So you're basically just saving those 25% over the first 3 months, which is absolutely awesome. And yeah, again, how to keep it safe on LinkedIn with these automations tools. First of all, limit daily actions at first. So do not exaggerate with the amount of DMs that you're sending out per day. Generally speaking, you could start with 100 to 150 DMs per day. Also, of course, depends on what volume you have. I even sometimes set 200 to 250, but I won't recommend that because that, again, is kind of at the risk of you being banned because it just feels so automated. Then randomized send times, you cannot really control that, but that's something that, for example, Lead Charts is automating for you. So it's never going to send out all of these at once. It's always going to have a little delay in between. So it looks very human-like. And then always respond manually when needed to stay human, as I already said, with voice notes, with personal videos, or something like that. Just something where you have to come in and really do it yourself. Now, step 5, turning inbound leads into clients. And this is a very important step because the entire engine doesn't matter if you don't have a strategy to convert those people. Now, here we're just going to start with some basic sales system tips that you should implement into whatever system you're using for each of them. So first of all, booking link inside the Notion doc, as I've already said, in the very beginning of it and at the very end of it, with a quick call to action. So before they start reading, have a quick call to action for them to convert or for them to book an appointment, and then at the very end. And then besides that, also have it in your LinkedIn bio. And I cannot stress it enough. And that's where LinkedIn Premium, the abonnement for like 30 years a month or something like that, comes in, because it allows you to have that book an appointment button on your profile. And the very good thing about it is that if your post shows up in their feed, which it will if it goes viral, then directly below your name, without even clicking on your profile, there's this book an appointment button, which increases the likelihood by, I don't know, 10 or 100x that they will actually book an appointment just based on seeing a post in their feed, because it is super easy to book an appointment since it's directly below your name if they see your post on their feed. And since it's gone viral, this is direct credibility, meaning the likelihood of them actually booking an appointment is pretty high. So definitely make sure that you have that on your profile. Then in calls, sell the expertise, not just system. Remember that since you're now doing those lead magnets and since you're giving away the real source, exactly how it works, you're not just giving away some stuff, you're giving away the exact step-by-step process, how it implemented it themselves. The buying intent immediately switches from, okay, I want the system, to now I want them to execute on it. I want their expertise to see better results with this entire system. Meaning if they are on calls, they already know your entire system, and now you have to sell them that you actually know what you're doing and how this is helping them, or basically how you are helping them specifically. So you're not comparable and replaceable with other agencies. Super important. Make sure that you have this in your entire sales call to make sure, okay, you're selling your expertise, you're selling on value and not the technical system, because you already have it. And then next up, always pre-frame, send a pre-call VSL before every single meeting. The good thing about those lead magnets is if done correctly, those can already function as a pre-call VSL, but remember, it's never as good as an intentional pre-call VSL, because a pre-call VSL itself is just structured in another way to make sure that the conversion is increased through sharing all the information before the meeting even starts. And then if you're getting high volume, qualify harder. I used to do it with, for example, WhatsApp. So I was sending out WhatsApp messages to make sure that they're qualified, etc. Then install reminder flows that send out SMS plus email reminders. So I'm literally sending out 10 reminders combined like with SMS and email before every single meeting. And I already had prospects that asked me like, do people never get annoyed by 10 reminders being sent out to them? And I'm just like, I don't care, because it's my time. Like, my time is extremely valuable, but this increases the show up rate so tremendously that I don't care if they're annoyed by it, because this is a call that very likely will change the entire trajectory of their entire business. So I don't care if they're annoyed by me sending out 10 reminders. I want to make sure that they actually show up, to not waste my time and to also give them the chance to receive all of that value that I'm sharing on the calls. Give them the chance that we can implement this for them to eventually see all of these results that's going to change everything for them. And then in that case, not only their business, but also their personal life, because more money equals another quality of life, of course. Now, eventually, remember, again, that's what I already said. You're selling access to your execution ability, not just information. The information they already have. Now they want you to execute on it. Sell accordingly. Now, number 6, expand and scale. So once you nail one lead magnet post, launch a second one, third one, fourth one. Cover different problems or angles for the same market and stack your authority even further. So for example, how I did it. Once my first lead magnet post gone viral, I launched a second one the week after, the third one a week after, and then I started continuously posting one lead magnet and resource and sending out one resource every single week to my entire audience to eventually cover all those problems within AI-powered client acquisition or client acquisition in general, which is a problem that a lot or most business owners out there are still facing. And I'm covering all of these different problems within AI-powered client acquisition every single week with the same market. And that is a kind of nurturing that you cannot do with anything else, with no retargeting ads, with no follow-up emails, whatever. And then eventually you stack your authority even further, because you now are proving every single week that you are, first of all, not gatekeeping everything. You're really spilling the real sauce about the entire system, and that eventually you have the right expertise to implement that for them. And that's eventually what's going to make them book an appointment, and then also close, what's going to make them become your client and convert into a client. And again, remember that quality always beats quantity. And that's what I was already saying in the very beginning. You don't need to post 7 times per week for the sake of posting it. If you every single week have 7 topics that you can talk about that are super valuable to your clients, of course, post 7 times per week. But if you only have the topic for one single lead magnet post and one single post per week, then it always holds true. One good post always beats 10 lazy ones. While one good post can make you go viral and change your entire game forever, 10 lazy ones can hurt your reputation and you will just sit in the dark without any inbound leads. That's pretty easy. Now, the last and final step, step number 7, follow a specific content strategy, which is for nurturing your existing audience by leading them through a content funnel. And it ultimately depends on if you want to post 4 or 7 times a week. As I said, depends on how much you can actually share. But if you, for example, post 4 times per week, we have a 4-step funnel right here. First one, Monday, lead magnet post. I always post my lead magnet post on Monday. Today it's going to be Tuesday or something like that. But generally speaking, I always post it on Monday at the very beginning of the week. I'm getting all the traction. I'm also going to show you in just a second based on a funnel picture. But I'm going in with all the traction. Second one, backend conversion. This is where I share testimonials. This is where I explain how our system works and making all of these people that came in on Monday, making them aware that we have a done for you service and that they just should comment a specific word or something like that. And I'm going to send more info over. So as you can already see, this is already decreased in comments, etc. Because right here, you really have people that want to work with you. So the buying intent is even higher, and that you post on Wednesday. Then value post on Friday. This is really about just showing, okay, you have the right expertise to help them. You have the right expertise to eventually help them execute you on the entire thing. This is you giving them the proof that you are the right person to implement it for them. But this is not promotional. You don't want to have anything in return. The sole thing that you're doing right here is sharing as much value about your system as possible, actionable value that they can implement themselves and that helps them with their current situation to eventually prove the fact that you are the right person, but you're not always pushing for the promotion or the sale, but you're sometimes just out there with a value first approach, is showing that you know your stuff. And then Sunday, an awareness post. This is where it gets really into the personal side of things, where you build your personal brand, which is showing your transformation, showing how you came to the point where you are today, showing your personal opinions, your lessons that you've learned throughout entrepreneurship or whatever. And here, for example, I'm talking about that at 14, I was waking up at 5 a.m. to cold call, sending cold DMs, not getting rejected thousands of times, stuff like that. I'm really showing that transformation of going from no results at all to having such amazing results that I'm now able to position myself as a thought leader in that entire industry. Now, as I said, the further you go ahead in that funnel, the fewer the engagement gets, but that's because you are qualifying people more and more. And that you're doing every single week. And as I said, if you're posting 7 times per week, then Monday lead magnet post, Tuesday, Saturday, backend conversion post, Wednesday and Thursday, value post, Friday and Sunday, awareness post. Now, if we look at it from a funnel perspective, it's basically the awareness goes in with the lead magnet post. As I already said, right here, you can see we have those 5,300 comments right there through the lead magnet post. That's all the traction. That's where we have the biggest amount of people coming into the funnel. Then the second one, backend conversion post, you can already see the decrease in people that engage with it. Backend conversion post, we qualify them even more. We make them aware of the fact that we have the done for you service and that they are able to comment a specific word or book an appointment with us to eventually convert and become a client. Then next up, we have the value post, really showing them, okay, we know our stuff. This is even further ahead, a even further step in this entire funnel. And then last step is the awareness post, showing them this is who I am. This is how I came to this point where I'm currently at. And then eventually for them to decide, okay, is this a person that I want to work with? And eventually going through this entire funnel, and you sometimes with some, you have to go through this entire funnel over and over again. I have some that I've sent out like 5 lead magnet posts to, and then eventually they became a client. And they go through that funnel over and over again, and then eventually they become a client. But that's how you turn cloud, or basically in other words, the awareness, into your ideal clients, your favorite clients that come in with a super high buying intent. And yeah, this is the entire process that we're using at Multiscalex to generate hundreds and hundreds of appointments sometimes every single week, sometimes every single month for us and our clients, and eventually generating millions of dollars with our services that we're offering, and then also for our clients who are also selling B2B services, sometimes physical products, whatever. This entire process works for every single industry period. There's not a single industry that this can't work for. You just, of course, have to adapt it and customize it based on who you're targeting and how specific you are with your ICP, or if you want to have a broader audience, whatever. But I'd say that's it for today. Again, if you want this entire system built for you, if you want this entire inbound system built for your business, for your personal brand specifically, feel free to click on the link in the description down below, or go to multiscalex.com, www.multiscalex.com, and book a free strategy session right there. And then we can just look at your business, figure out, okay, what makes more sense, warm inbound or cold outbound, in other words, cold email. Thank you guys so much for sticking around so long and watching the video till the end. Don't forget to subscribe, activate the notification bell to not miss all of that value that I'm sharing on here, and all these practical insights into how to build AI automations that help you generate more leads and generate more clients. And I'd say I'd see you guys in the next one.